I got double check.
Kunta.
No.
Toby.
Already.
We back. We live. Episode 9. Tavon Tri-State Tip. Next to me, I got Jason, Julian, Brian.
Yeah.
Get a ladies, yeah, Instagram, whatever y'all want to give them to follow y'all at.
Julian Smith on Facebook.
All right.
Say that.
Tiger Helly 19
Tiger Helly 19.
and Brian Smith.
Yeah. On Facebook.
1530 something crazy. What was the number?
I don't even know.
But you on Instagram.
I created. I don't remember the password.
I sent Brian like a Instagram thing like 2 years ago, I think.
You on there?
Wow. I get an email every once in a while when somebody start following me. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Hey, well, hopefully you get a lot more followers now.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. As soon as I remember my password.
It's
Or
another
just reset
dude being you right now. You know, yeah, I saw that Manti. I ain't watch it. That Manti Teo.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I want to watch it.
Ooh.
It was good though.
Oh yeah.
I wanna watch it.
People look crazy. That whole catfishing, like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's still a thing, but just the mentality behind the people that just get deep. It's going on like months,
Yeah.
and they still just deep cover with a fake identity, trying to.
He's the original catfish, ain't he?
He was like the main first catfish. Yeah.
'Cause I watch when I come on MTV. I watch Catfish all day.
I haven't seen it since like the original season, but I'm surprised it's still going on.
It's over 10
That
years now.
dude got played.
Yeah,
been
he was
over
probably
10
the
years.
most high profile.
Yeah.
I was like, man. I mean, if you watch it, I was like feeling bad for him.
Yeah, that's what I got the vibe. Everybody was. We still gonna run no memes though.
You know what? There's people that laugh in dramatic situations, and those are the ones that make those memes. They be like, "Oh man, that is messed up." But yeah, go ahead. And make
I'm
fun
pretty
of it.
sure. I'm pretty sure if you was out there, you got catfish at least once in your
I've
life.
been,
without
I've been
a doubt.
catfish before.
Without a doubt.
Brian, you remember the old POF days?
Oh gosh,
Man, me and Brian got some stories.
oh god, yes.
That was crazy.
I had one that was biblical.
Yeah, PO. POF was nuts.
Non-incriminating events. We got some stuff that happened this week.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Let's start with Marvel because I want to start with the 2-year anniversary of Chadwick Boseman passing. So, you know, R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I raised mine. My devil's backbone.
That was really shocking.
Yeah.
And you know what? 2020, I think, just got to go down in history.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably top 5 worst years.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not top 5 because there's worse stuff that happened, like, you know, the Black Plague, and probably some worse stuff happened in the course of history.
Right.
But in modern era history, 2020 sucked.
Yeah.
It did.
And
Started with Kobe.
it did. You know what it started with? We was about to go to war with Korea.
Yeah, it was all
Up in
good.
January, like January 2nd.
Yeah.
We was going on.
I feel like 2020 still smacking us around.
And then they stormed the Capitol, and then Kobe.
Well, that was storming the Capitol. That was last year.
But it was all that year.
That was 2021.
No, was it?
No, that's 2020.
It's been
That's
that long.
2020.
Yeah,
For real?
Yeah, it was 2020.
Why are
Yeah,
they still
'cause-
talking about like it just happened?
Because the election. Remember, the election
Yeah,
was
it
on
was
the
2020.
on 2020.
Because I remember the Capitol, that's on my grandma's birthday, and she actually passed away 2020. 2020 was trash, man.
And yeah, but I remember in August, boy. I'm like, what? Ain't no way Chadwick Boseman died.
Man,
People
that
kept coming out. He passed, and then because you remember the pictures weeks prior, him looking skinny, and everybody thought it was for a role or something like that.
I
But
thought
it was really shocking.
Yeah, I really thought it was like one of them internet hoaxes. You know how they say people dying. Or
Yeah.
I didn't really pay it no attention. I when it came up on my phone, I was just ignoring it. I was like, man,
Because you and I were out to eat.
yeah.
Oh, you just go to TMZ. That's where I guess shit official.
Nah,
TMZ.
it was just weird because it came up on like I think it was one site that I saw, and I was like, I think it was Joe Blow I saw it on. And I was just like, nah, whatever. I think it was like a hoax. Then it started coming up on everything. Then we was out eating and it came on the TV and it was like breaking news, like Chadwick Bowen passed away. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
like whenever I see like one of those rumors like that, I go straight to TMZ first. I'm like, let me see what TMZ got to say. You know, they always the first one.
I remember when Kobe died. I was at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I don't know if it came on my Facebook or Instagram, but it was like, I'm like, yo, somebody said that Kobe died, and I'm refreshing, and then I'm like checking out some shoes, and then I'm talking to the dude. I'm like, yo, you heard that Kobe died? He's like, nah, what are you talking about? And so he go in the back and talk to the other dude, and he's like, yo, you heard this? That Kobe died? And he's like, no, he didn't. And we arguing about if he did or not, and they calling people. They're like, yo. You heard Kobe? They calling people on their money, and everybody started talking.
It was crazy because we was all I was on the basketball court with my son playing, and I guess somebody was on the phone, and then everybody just stopped playing ball, and everybody just started running their phones and like stuff. And so what I thought was cool was when we was at the park, everybody had just put the balls down and just gave like a little moment of silence.
Yeah, that was tough. Both of them were tough. Yeah. I think Kobe's was a little bit harder because with the daughter.
Yeah. And those other folks.
It's and I don't want to take away from the other folks either.
Other folks too, man. It was nine people on it playing.
It was crazy. I was actually on my way to the outlets in Pottstown, not Pottstown, Pottstown outlets, and I was on my way to Nike. And they had like not the signature Kobe sneaks they didn't have in the store, but they had like the other little side Kobe sneaks. When I say, and it was that day, like got there, I actually was at a stoplight.
Grabbed them.
I didn't grab none. I was about to get on.
My biggest regret is returning. I had 3 pair of Kobe's, and I returned all of them because they were like narrower shoes, and I got bigger feet, like wider feet, and so. I got them. Two of them I got from the Nike outlet for dumb cheap. I should have just kept them.
Yeah. Oh, they go crazy now.
Yeah.
Because
all of them.
Because we was
like
there.
500 bottom.
Even the
one of them I had was like closer to 1,000.
Yeah, that was like the other ones. But yeah, I got up to the outlets and got right about to get on 141. It was at the light. I was seated on my phone on social media, and then because we don't text and drive. So then anyway, we get up, like people had like the Kobe joints like stacked, like people, the whole section was empty. Mind you, all them Kobe's have been sitting there for months, like nobody was buying. They had been sitting. That day people was going crazy.
It's still like surreal seeing both of them going. I mean, and at that young age, at that.
And I think that's it right there, right? It's death doesn't care, right? It don't matter how successful you are, how young you are, good a shape you thought you was in. Like it's crazy. It's really crazy. But
side note on the Kobe topic, shout outs to the wife Vanessa winning that lawsuit the other day. She getting paid.
Yeah,
well, she donating that money to her charity.
And I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any type of way.
She's fine.
But good God,
give her 3 years. You could go in next year.
Oh my God,
you could go in next year. She's a beautiful woman.
I would do the laundry, dishes, clean out, whatever she tell me to do. I'll shut up.
Separate the whites from the darks.
Whatever. Boy,
but yeah, she definitely deserved that money though. I mean, past the money because that doesn't help the situation.
Right,
but
right.
You know what it was for? It was for the first responders and the cops
taking pictures.
Was taking like
that's crossing the line.
I wouldn't even want to have that in my phone. Like I wouldn't even want your remains to be in my phone.
I don't want it in my mind.
Like it's bad enough I had to see it. Like it's bad enough I see this.
Yeah.
Let alone,
I'm gonna take my phone out and take a picture of your body. Nah, man.
I mean, it's some things in life that's crossing the line. That was one of the biggest.
But honestly,
you should.
I think that's what the world is now.
Yeah,
and literally the past 20 years,
likes and reactions
has been like, I don't want to call it the glorification, but we kind of been desensitized to certain things. We see a lot of videos on death. Yeah, I remember the Faces of Death DVD, or what was it called?
The Faces of Death.
Faces of Death. Those shit was crazy. But nowadays it's kind of normal looking. But back in the day, that shit was crazy.
What messed me up was the one John. When the guy was like a robbery or something going on. They were letting hostages out, but they couldn't tell who were hostages and who were the robbers because they had like unmasked themselves and were running out.
Come on.
And the cop just popped the dude in the chest with
I
a
seen some
shotgun.
crazy ones. I don't even like describing them anymore.
I don't like the animal ones.
Cause
I don't like the animal
Nah,
ones.
I could do. I seen about 3 crazy ones that really messed me up. One, I'll give you an example of. This Mexican gang caught these people or some shit like that and had them tied down on their knees. And all I'm going to say is they had chainsaws and a knife. And they went down the line. And that shit fucked me up for mad long. Like, I would get squeamish just thinking about it for like months.
It's some unique shit on there.
Yeah, I remember I had a crazy ex. She had me. I don't even know if the website's up anymore. But it used to have like crazy shit on there. At nauseam.com.
Used to have this like deep dive. Like if you ever got lost in the internet back in the early 2029 or 2009 or whatever, they used to have some crazy shit. If you kept clicking and you go to, and that's where I saw the damn Mexican cartel shit from. I kept clicking shit and it kept bringing me to other ones and other ones and other ones. And I was like, I gotta get off of this.
Yeah, I don't like looking at stuff like that.
She had me watch one of the back with the Taliban, and this was earlier to that. It was the guy, the one reporter, Pearl.
Yeah, I heard.
I remember that.
When I say
The kids at the club showed me that.
This shit is crazy.
I watched it like, and I know, and I don't even do the graphic stuff. I'm sitting there watching, and then I couldn't stop watching after that point. Yo, that had me messed up for like a whole 2 weeks after.
It's hard for me to click on links. I think WorldStar is like the site to go to. Now. It's hard for me to click on links.
WorldStar still out there?
WorldStar be showing some crazy shit.
I haven't been on
sometimes.
WorldStar in maybe
they on there,
years, maybe longer.
Yeah, they still there.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that it was on 22 years with Aaliyah. I think
21.
21.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
That was crazy.
I was at church when I found out that happened.
Yeah, Leah was my girl. In my head, me and her was going together.
You going with a lot of
They rocked the boat.
Yeah, couldn't tell me. Dude, I used to argue I still argue to this day. If Aaliyah ain't died, Beyonce wouldn't been where she was.
Ooh.
Well, if you really look, I mean, the sad thing is, I mean, like you said, death has a receipt for anybody. I mean, just seeing her that young. I mean, and I'll just say this: to me, it's a sad tale with her altogether because of the R. Kelly situation.
Yeah.
Then she got out of that. Then I guess stuff that was going on with her uncle and the label. Then I guess she had a movie career that was starting to blossom.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a sad.
You know what happened
tale.
with that flight?
Yeah,
They told her
Too
not
much-
to go on it.
It was too much luggage. It was something about too much,
too much
weight
luggage.
on the flight.
And
Like it was something that was completely avoidable.
Overworked the engine.
Definitely was.
Yeah, because apparently, I guess when I was reading, they said that
Or
the
she
video-
wasn't meant to be on that flight.
Anyway, they said the
Something they
video
said.
was done, but the guy, I guess Hype Williams, or
Oh, that's right. That was the
Wanted
Rock
to-
the Boat video.
Yeah.
I guess
Rock
he
the Boat
wanted to
video.
use more shots for the video, and they basically saying some of it was really unnecessary, but each is his own. I mean, it's a lot of negligence, and shout out to everybody else that was on that plane as well.
Yeah.
Besides her, I'm not taking away her passing, but it was other folks and families that was on that plane as well that lost some loved ones.
It'd be cool if Vanessa gave that money to the family, to the other people in the flight with Kobe.
Right.
Yeah, we don't need to know
She
about
don't.
it.
She don't really need the money.
No.
If she just say, you know what, I give it. So, I'm sorry for the segue, but for today's movie, we're watching the '80s The Blob movie, and I'm trying to let them know how graphic, and you're gonna see in a little bit how graphic this movie was and how
We saw this twice on one day.
Yep.
this version.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad's a hard nut, and he was like, "Let's go again."
Speaking of,
You'll see.
Speaking of movies, all in one day, I think I once watched Grandma's Boy either 3 or 4 times back to back in one day. It's a great movie.
The comedy, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is. I love that movie.
So yeah,
On to the next.
we've been, it was a little down of the subject, but I just want to say, Chadwick Boseman, Kobe,
Peace.
Yes.
Aaliyah,
Chad,
Peace.
Kobe.
Fuck you, 2020.
and let's move on to some lighter stuff. New episode of She-Hulk came out this week. I don't know if y'all watching it or not.
Yes.
Spoiler if you haven't. They hinted. Well, they gave what's the word I'm looking for? Easter egg
For a couple things.
They finally addressed the big ass
What you
head.
talking about?
Something you been asking
The
for.
big ass head in the ocean from Eternal. So they finally addressed that. What was the other thing? Not the main thing. What was the second biggest one on there? There was
Sakaar.
Hulk going back to Sakaar? Is that what you're talking about?
no on the article. It wasn't it 3 things?
It was 2.
I thought it was Iron Man's big 3.
Oh, the sneakers. The Iron Man 3 sneakers or something like that.
Okay, I gotta look back.
Yeah.
But the main other thing from the article was a man gets in a fight at a bar with metal claws.
Yes.
Obviously hitting that Wolverine.
It's highly indicating it.
So Marvel knows, they know where the path is going, and they know who's going to be included. So the fact that they're saying this, we definitely getting a Wolverine.
Yes, sir.
I expect either Fantastic Four or X-Men announcement at D23 in the next month.
It's next Sunday. Or is it next Sunday or
It's
the following
soon.
Sunday?
It's
It's
about
soon.
2 weeks, I think.
The 10th, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th, but
Check my calendar. I got it marked on my calendar.
we'll definitely be doing probably a whole show for that.
I think it's 2 weeks from now.
And then
September 10th.
and then Hulk going back to Sakaar apparently. So it may or may not happen, but I'm hoping it pans out that we do eventually possibly get a World War Hulk storyline if his Sakaar storyline plays out.
I was saving this till we was here in person. This is going to be a real hard one for them to pull off because if you read World War Hulk, the main antagonist in it was Tony and the Fantastic Four.
It was the Illuminati.
Well, the Illuminati, but
The
Stark
Illuminati.
was a big part of.
Yes, but they can replace it and say, all right, it was Reed Richards. Oh, all right, it was Namor. All right, it was damn.
Doctor
I want to say
Strange.
Professor X
Doctor
because
Strange.
he hasn't been. But you could say Doctor Strange, and there are people you can point it towards. So
That's where this is where I'm kind of like wishing Marvel never
did it at the right time.
right at the time.
Yeah.
But check this out. I was watching another podcast, and they were talking about the same thing. And he brought up an interesting point that I'm gonna bring up to y'all.
It wasn't Who I Should Watch It, was it?
No. It was John Campia. It was on the John Campia show, and
That's
they
my
brought
dude
up
right
they brought up
there,
a
too.
point, and they were saying that in the MCU as we know it right now, they don't even have enough heroes for there to be a World War Hulk.
I
they
think
would
by
have-
the
They
time
need to introduce more people.
this is all said and done, they will have the Avengers. They will have the X-Men. And I think that's the main people that you need. You need him fighting Colossus. You need him maybe fighting Juggernaut. The real issue is if they're going to do Sentry, and they probably won't do Sentry,
No.
but they'll probably just figure out, because they never go exactly off the comic book anyway, and so they'll tailor it toward the movies. But the concept of Hulk coming back to fight, let's say the Avengers, let's say whoever they established in X-Men, let's say Fantastic Four, they can do that.
It might be a few years from now.
But-
They can do that.
It's-
And even if it's 2025 was Phase 6, even if they do Phase 6,
It could be a minute.
because I could see him not being in the multiverse saga. I could see him not being with the Kang stuff, and him coming back after the Kang stuff and being more in the mutant stuff.
So this is my next question. This is going off on a tangent, but still staying on topic. Like, who out of everything we've seen MCU right now, everyone that's surviving, like, who would you make the current timeline? What do they call it? Illuminati.
Strange, Namor. If they introduce a new Professor X,
Well, I'm talking about as people we've seen.
okay.
That already
Strange, Namor. It would have to be new people. It would have to be Namor. Everybody introduced after Black Panther, including in Doctor Strange.
You know what? Here's what's
Everybody except for Iron Man.
I'll flip this question.
Reed Richards. We technically seen Reed Richards.
Okay.
So
It can be, here, I'll flip it. Do y'all think that since
Reed Richards. Put it on Reed Richards. That's what I was saying.
Now we're saying this. Now I'm thinking. Now, do y'all think Marvel made a mistake on often Iron Man? Because
Yes.
a lot of this,
Yes.
Well, that's very apparent.
A lot of this kind of the World War Hulk story really. He anchored the whole thing, just from the book and everything on how he was coming across with Banner and the whole 9 yards. So.
I can see where they thought that they can continue without him. And honestly, they'll be fine because they're going to have new people to anchor up. Right now, we're in an in-between period, I feel, and they're trying to let Doctor Strange, I feel like, be the anchor. Actually, it's really Wong, but it's Doctor Strange anchoring in between until we get Professor X. I think once we get Professor X and Reed Richards, we're going to feel safe again as far as having a smart person, as far as having that brains behind because we're gonna have Riri Williams. We're gonna have people smart enough. Sherry, it's just that leader that's smart as well. We don't really have, and I think we'll get that in Reed Richards, and we'll get that in Professor X.
Yeah, because they didn't give us a strong enough, Doctor Strange, and even a Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
for him
we
to
don't
even
feel
be-
safe with him being the leader.
Not
Not
with
at
that
all.
third eye.
Right. Definitely not now.
Like for me, if
Definitely
they
not now.
if they had made that movie how the trailer was portraying that movie to be,
I
then-
thought the movie was supposed to hit.
Yeah.
and I was a little let down. I ain't gonna lie.
I
was a
thought
little
that
let
he
down.
was in trouble because for him helping Spider-Man and like it went beyond anything that he tried to do, or the fix at the end of that movie. And I was like, oh, he can answer for all that.
I add on to that. It was no repercussions on that action because that's a big thing that he did.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, hopefully Kane comes in and says I'm the judgment. I'm the judgment day for all y'all actions. So
just thinking about that little Ant-Man thing just gave me goosebumps.
Apparently, the trailer is supposed for Ant-Man supposed to be dropping soon.
October.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely think we're gonna get another trailer in September for something. So
October is when Ant-Man drops.
okay,
It's
so
all
they
for Ant-Man.
they definitely gonna show a trailer for Ant-Man at least at D23 then. Other Marvel news. Oh, Fantastic Four got a director. A guy named Matt Shackman. He was.
He's
I
been
know he
around.
was trying to. They were having him for a Star Trek movie coming up. And
Yeah.
he dropped out because he's now doing a Fantastic Four.
If
He
you
did WandaVision.
WandaVision. That's what I'm
if
thinking.
y'all
about. He
read
was
his
doing the
IMDb
WandaVision.
credits, this man's did a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's big time.
So
Okay.
I kind of peeped up on what he's did. He's did Game of Thrones.
Oh,
He
really?
said he's did What About Chris? He's did I think-
Everybody hates Chris.
Everybody Hates Chris. I'm sorry.
that's my
show.
He's did
Damn.
I think Law and Order.
He's got an
He's been
extensive.
around for a
He's got
minute.
an extensive
Dun, dun.
credence. Mm-hmm.
He's got a big background in TV. And apparently, they've been trying to find a good vehicle for him to do his own,
Yeah.
be his big thing there. He
I liked
obviously
WandaVision. It was a good series, actually. It's one of my favorite ones out of all the Disney Plus series.
that was the one that I really had low expectations for, and that ended up being my favorite one out of all of them.
They're really good. And honestly, I can see a similarity in Star Trek with Fantastic Four a little bit.
Well,
Yeah.
I meant to send it
The
in the group.
Explorer.
I meant to send it in the group
aspect.
chat. They said the Fantastic Four movie that's coming out is going half or 3/4 of the movie is going to be off Earth.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm assuming they're going with the space route.
they're going. I guess they're going to try to explain why they haven't.
How
been
they got the
around.
powers,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
It makes sense because they are cosmic. And, even though that they are earthbound, a lot of their stories are cosmic bound.
And to me, that kind of make things a little more interesting because it's like, even though the Avengers were saving New York, in Houston they could have been launching from NASA to go in space to find some things, even though all that was going on.
Right.
And they just make this whole big rush, like, oh my God, we can still leave. We can still do our trip. We can still go, even though that's happening in New York right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they got liberties they can take just
Yeah.
because of different states and cities and stuff. that
And
they
even
were in.
with the other thing, the remake or the second shot of Fantastic Four,
talking
they
about
didn't go off Earth. They went to like a
a
different
different
dimension.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about Ant-Man. Remember he was stuck in the quantum realm?
Yeah.
And if they did something similar with, we were stuck in this realm or whatever, then I can see that playing out too.
Well, all right, I just got one thing with Fantastic Four. Do y'all think there should be an origin story, or should it?
I don't think they have to go full and deep. I think they just need to tell how they got their powers and like where it came from. If it was space, if it was from a different realm.
But they said it's
just
not
need
gonna
to
be an
establish that, and that could take 20 minutes. You know, it's not going to be a whole.
They could do it during the credits, like how they did Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
So I don't think it needs to have a whole new. Yeah, I think everybody's familiar with the characters, and
well, apparently, I guess the cast is.
I think the cast
is apparently from some stuff I've been reading and digging up on. Everything's casted.
That girl Elizabeth.
I never heard of her.
Me either. I have no idea.
She's a cutie.
I have no idea who she is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they go with, what's his name? Who they had? Krasinski. They got for me. They have to get his wife.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Michael Chiklis.
Nah.
I'm gonna stick to my guns on making Ben Grimm African American.
I don't get. I wouldn't hate it.
Like I said, I would like it, but you're not going to see him. I mean, you're not going to see who he is.
If he's in his human form before he turns into the rock monster, I want him to be African American.
Okay.
I'm with it.
They definitely gonna show
him. What Johnny Blaze was? Not Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, he's right.
George.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they had him. So you know,
Johnny Storm. Yeah,
Johnny Storm. Yeah, John.
I keep calling him the same.
You know who?
Because it makes sense that his name should have been Johnny Blaze.
Isn't Johnny Blaze is Ghost Rider? Yeah.
You know who? Even though
damn it, Marvel.
So many Johns.
DC did the same thing. Where
you just got me thinking. If they do choose an African American to play thing, I would like Mike Calder to play him. Even though he played Luke Cage.
Coulter. Nah, they can't.
Because he's already coming back.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
Oh, he is coming back.
Him, the girl that played Jessica Jones.
The only one that's not coming back is Iron Fist.
Finn Thomas. Yeah. Well, that's because he requested not to come back. But they said
I wouldn't come back either.
I just saw on. I meant to put it in the group chat too. They said that them two already made they're making their appearance in Echo. They're supposed to drop on that. So
oh wow,
Echo supposed to be lit.
The naming. DC did something similar with Arrow's partner is named Speedy.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think Flash's partner would be called Speedy, right? And so everybody would call Kid Flash Speedy. That was the funny, but
yeah, Arrow's partner, I would call him like Quiver or something like, to that effect. Yeah.
Bow and Arrow.
Yeah.
Bow and Arrow.
Yeah,
right? See how I just came up with that quick?
Damn it, DC.
How do you pitch that in 2022?
I don't know, but
the story writes itself.
What else I got? Is that all for Marvel? Yep. I think that might be it. That all that happened with Marvel this week. Let's transit.
There was the one thing I just seen prior to coming here, and they talking about Chris Evans maybe coming back.
Really?
As what?
I can imagine him coming back,
but not in New World Order. But he's coming
there
back,
is
but not
another,
New World Order.
There is another Captain America movie coming out after New World Order called Red, White, and Black. We'll see what happens.
You know what? I would not be mad at that because
I can see him coming back for one. He's young enough to
because in the books it is two Captain America stories running. One is Sam and one is actually him. Right. But what they did with
what's this for, man?
Can they both just die?
Nah. What you got against Captain America?
Trash.
Oh my god.
All I'm saying is
I need a proper explanation of this trash.
Because all I want to know is Captain America. You came back to on your what was he on PEDs? Yeah, he was on. So we're telling kids it's okay to take performance enhancing drugs.
You know who was on PEDs? Abomination. Abomination was the PED.
And I'm just saying, Captain America going fighting all this crime and stuff.
Yeah.
Where was you at during Jim Crow? What did
he
you
was
do
frozen. He was frozen.
He was on ice.
He was frozen from 1930, whatever, 1940.
Years. Whatever it was, 7 years, 70 years.
Till 2008 or 2000, whatever.
Conveniently frozen to not fight racism.
And he said, yo, this is not what I fought for. He said, this is not what I fought for.
That's one of the first things he talked
and
about.
On the show, they kind of addressed that.
Yeah, they did. They did. Falcon and the Winter Soldier brought that up.
And they tried to make other Captain Americas out there.
And all I know is,
you had to watch the
if
series
your boy killed my parents and you was hiding that shit,
all right.
it's
that
on
mean
site.
that mean that he riding for his boy.
Pretty much.
All right, Tony, me and you cool, but this my man.
I known him for longer. Yeah.
We grade school.
Yep.
If it come down to me and you versus my grade,
my face.
because we cool. But the moment you set trip on my dude, then I gotta stand. I gotta pick a side. And you wilding right now.
That's,
I mean,
that's,
you should not pick a
and he
side
also-
of the murderer.
that's I mean, that's real. I mean,
Yeah.
And honestly, he
So
probably thought
why
Bucky
would
was
you-
dead.
Why, and why would you not like somebody who would ride for their boy like that?
Because he killed my parents.
But that's all right. You not Iron Man. You just a fourth party sitting there. You Hawkeye watching this all go down.
I'm like, yo, that's kind of foul, Rob. That's kind of foul, Steve, man. You don't do it like that.
You Hawkeye watching this all go down, and you like, damn, I can understand why he
If
riding for his
anything-
boy.
Hawkeye would probably like, man, you should probably tell him before
If
you find out. You should probably tell him before you find out.
If
But in
anything-
in the movie, my part though is when he's finding out, and he was like,
Yeah,
yo,
he ain't wasting
and
his
what's the
stuff.
name trying
He
to
tried-
explain it?
he was gangster
And
for
Tony's
that.
like, yo, he was
gangster
like,
for that. I give him
did you?
that.
He's like, did you know? well, Tony,
Yeah,
If
he was
anything-
he was gangster for that. I give him that.
If anything, I respect Cap for that because, like you said, he had a line in sand. It's anything. You know that's your man, but you trying to protect his integrity as well too. If anything, they should just listen to Steve. Well, I mean, it's one of them arguments. Is like whose side are you picking at the end?
That's what made that such
Yeah.
a great movie.
That's why I think Cap's stories. Well, his
What
movies.
side I pick?
Well, Cap's movies
you
were.
got to figure out
way
when he
better.
found that out
And
because he
then-
didn't know it back in. He found out probably a couple years prior. He didn't know
When
for
he deep
long.
dived.
He didn't know for long. They probably debriefed him like yo,
Like, this is what happened.
Yeah.
like probably the events after
And
Civil War.
And he probably didn't even think Bucky was still alive.
Winter Soldier. He probably found that out. He didn't know for long.
Nah, he was probably like, oh, Bucky.
And then we didn't know where Bucky was
Yeah,
at.
he's
So
he's
he was like,
gone.
I ain't never got to bring this up
Yeah.
because it's over with.
And then Tony made the ultimate sacrifice. This dude gonna retire for some old vagina.
First of all, I know dudes that did worse. All right.
And Captain America had a broken shield with all of Thanos' troops in front of him. He said,
And
you
he
know
still
what?
got up.
I'm going to
He strapped that motherfucker.
I'm going to limp over here.
I just want it to be known, Cap was the last one standing out of all three. Out of a Norse god,
Yep.
a dude with a whatever made suit with flight,
Lasers,
blasting, and all the
missiles.
other stuff. The dude that was on PEDs was the last one to stand
And the
against the
fact
boy.
that-
He's on drugs. He's supposed to be.
with,
He
with no
told
shield.
he told Iron Man years ago, you gotta learn how to fight, my boy. You can't just be out here relying on your weapons. You gotta learn how to.
Throw your hands.
Yeah,
Tony was throwing them hands after he found out he killed his parents.
and then his computer had to help him out because he was getting worked.
don't get
Hey,
mad
look,
now. Don't get
look.
mad now. You gonna catch this L from
he,
both
had,
of
he, had
us. now.
even, he had to even the playing field when people on steroids.
He threw. He
She's
fucked
like, you
that
can't
up.
beat him hand to hand. Even his computer was like, yo, we in trouble, dog.
He's on steroids.
Skip
Go
too many
ahead.
of the Krav Maga glasses for this.
He said, "Crap, my God."
But
I love that. I love that.
I
fight
like
scene,
Captain America.
I-
Man.
I
ain't gonna
like-
front
Great
on
fight
him.
scene.
I ain't
I
gonna
think
front.
I
Caps-
loved it.
Outside of all Marvel's movies, Caps was
That Winter
Right.
Soldier hit.
The
That
Winter Soldier was-
That Winter
See,
Soldier
the weird
hit.
part is I'm not big on Winter Soldier,
The
but
movie? Or
I don't like
just the
the I don't
character?
like the movie. I mean, the movie was alright. It wasn't as great as I thought.
That shit hit.
But-
But I ain't gonna lie, that shit hit.
Yeah.
But for
When
the
that came
record,
out,
Cap's
That shit
trilogy. If it was the best out of all of them,
it might
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It might be.
It is. I mean, Iron
out
Man
of
movies
Solos.
are really
The Solos.
forgettable.
And really, the last one got carried because of the amount of characters, and it
Yeah.
had Spider-Man introduction.
Well,
You can't
first-
really knock that.
Black Panther.
well, first off,
Black
for the
Panther,
record,
Black
Captain
Panther.
America don't have a trilogy. He
do.
has 1.5 movies because part 3 is definitely Avengers 2.0. It's like, and then the other. But for the record, as much as I hate Captain America, I do actually really like the first one, and I didn't even want to see it. I watched it. I was like, it was
At
kind of
first,
like,
that was my least favorite, and then I was like,
It's
kept
good. I
watching
liked it.
I was like,
Yeah.
it
Rest
ain't
I
bad.
like it.
For me,
Ain't bad.
it's number 3, and if I'm going to count the trilogy, it's number
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
For me,
oh, so you count Civil War?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's Winter
He
Soldier,
anchored
Civil
the
War,
movie.
and that.
He anchored it. I mean, it was based around of a decision that he made. So
Yeah.
you gotta call it that. I just think the Iron Man movies was just weak.
Yeah, they are.
I you know what? Iron Man.
And-
How many? He had 3 or 4.
Yeah, three. And I think my
Iron Man 3, I didn't care for.
And I
2
didn't
wasn't bad.
You know
2
what? I
wasn't
was,
bad.
too.
You know, I really
And
didn't
1
like,
wasn't bad. Honestly, it wasn't bad.
my argument with
One was
Iron
great.
Man movies is because it was basically science versus sorcery. Hey, once they went away with the Mandarin on how he was, and
That's where the third one messed up.
To me, that's the Iron
That's
Man
where
that
the third-
I'm used to reading was the science and
Right.
the sorcery. I
Right.
mean, because you had
That's
Fing
where they
Fang
messed up.
Foom, you had oh god,
Well, they couldn't do
Mandarin.
Fing Fang Foom because of, they would
'Cause
have
of the-
felt like it would have been
Yeah.
disrespectful.
But
to
even
Asians.
then, with the Shang-Chi, they didn't bring him in. They
Yeah,
called
but, I mean that's just me. I mean, that's just where I'm just like used to reading.
I'm
from,
glad they retconned it and
Yeah.
they gave a real, man behind the.
the dinner scene made up for that. And
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
But
They
I was
knew
mad.
they
I
had
was
to fix
mad when that
yeah.
happened. Back in the
You
day.
and me both.
I can't believe it. It did take away from that movie from me.
That was the most Shane Black thing that Shane Black could do.
What? Not the Predator suit?
but I love. Oh yeah, wait a minute, that might have topped it, bro.
How did we get on this topic?
Oh,
I
no,
had
no,
we off the tangent.
off the tangent.
Off
Tangent. That's going to be the
I don't think we got anything else. That's why I was asking about what else we got.
Oh, I brought Captain America. That's why.
Let's go ahead and transition to DC real quick. We gotta give him a little bit of love. All right. They found a Kevin Feige, apparently a DC's version of Kevin Feige, and a guy named Dan Lin, producer. I am not too sure of his credits. I could look him up.
I did some digging.
Okay.
He's done the Lego movie. He's done
Lego Batman or the Lego movie.
Probably
I think the
all.
Lego.
Probably, yeah.
I think he did Lego.
I like Lego Batman.
He did it. He's done.
Yep.
He did some other stinkers. He did Easter Sunday.
Sherlock
Didn't it
Holmes.
just
Executive producer on Terminator Salvation.
He was also going to be the producer for that failed George Miller Superman. Oh, sorry, Justice League movie.
Okay.
Mortal.
Oh, damn.
He's got a
Torque. Oh, you remember Torque?
I seen
2004?
them, yeah.
Was that Matt Henderson?
kinda like
Ice Cube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
It was the motorcycles version of
Yeah.
Fast and Furious.
After Biker Boys.
Yeah,
so.
After Biker Boys.
Yeah, after Biker Boys. I
Biker
love
Boys is a good ass
I love
movie.
Biker
I love
Boys.
Biker Boys.
Like
It's
Torque
true.
too. I bang with all them.
That boy went in that little focus mode.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Shout out to Derek Luke on that one. That's
Yeah,
my
that-
joint right there. I like that.
Yeah, he did a
And Megan
few.
Good. Ooh.
Yeah, Megan.
He's got some duds
Perfect
and he's
last
got some stinkers.
And
but-
she's single right now.
Oh, she is.
No
Yeah,
kids.
She just got divorced.
Her slide out my DMs. He probably hit me earlier. Is that you? Man?
But the guy that's running it, apparently, I guess the job that he's going to take is he's going to bypass everybody because DC is going to
So,
be its own entity.
He's
So
gonna,
he's going to oversee everything.
yeah, he's gonna
So-
pretty much lead the way on DC affairs. I'm just going through his credits real quick. He's done a few Lego movies. Lego movie, Lego Batman, Ninjago, the Lego movie 2, Godzilla King of Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, It, both of them. They got an Aladdin 2 and an Inspector Gadget movie. Sorry, not Inspector Gadget, Johnny Quest.
Oh, I
on
would
this
love
list.
to see that.
One Johnny, one on the Rock.
2023 is what they're saying.
Is it the Rock attached to that? When he
I
supposed
have
to play
no idea.
the
I
Valley
would
Guy?
It
love-
is Zac Efron and The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, look at this shit.
I would love to see Johnny Quest,
I
man.
am not mad at this, honestly.
Yo, Johnny Quest is the
If
truth.
he's supposed to be the bodyguard,
Oh,
I'm
Reese.
not mad at this.
Okay.
we cast it as Haji.
Yes, exactly. You beat me to it.
Yo, okay.
That depends on how I'm going to see that movie.
Yeah.
If Haji.
I'm not too mad at this, for real, for real.
Are they really doing Johnny Quest?
I need a strong Haji. I ain't
Yeah.
there.
Huh. Because
'cause
Haji
Haji was
was
my
like
dude,
putting hands
man.
on them guys, man.
Sim Salabim.
Yo, that was like one of the first cartoons I seen.
Okay,
called,
The
like,
Rock was going to be
throwing
Race
a keto on
Bannon.
there.
Johnny Quest is going to be Zac Efron.
Who's directed it?
Don't say. Let it be Christopher McQuarrie.
I don't
Or
see a
James
director
Mangold.
attached to it yet.
Yo, Johnny Quest was like my joint back in the day.
I bang with Johnny.
Y'all watched the Cartoon Network version?
Oh, Johnny Quest?
No, it's a comedy parody.
Yeah, Johnny Quest is one of those few shows.
I know he's
never
talking
had
about
a
Johnny
reboot.
Bravo.
Venture Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Venture
I've never
Brothers.
even heard of it.
Yeah,
No.
it's a
Venture Brothers.
It's
It
good,
is
though.
funny
It's good.
as hell.
It's
I've never
good.
heard of it.
It's good.
Definitely
You gotta try it
Adult
out.
Swim material.
And it's a knockoff on Johnny Quest. They even make fun of. They even
They spoof
have some
everything.
episodes featuring a Johnny Quest in there, and You got to see how they portray him, though.
It,
You got to
it
watch
is
it.
funny as hell.
When they do this Johnny Quest movie, man, I'm sorry. If Hodge ain't lit, I ain't watching it.
So at one point, Robert Rodriguez was linked to direct it, but I don't know if that's still.
Where's
the
he
case.
been at?
Right now, it looks like a guy named Chris McKay.
Oh,
I know who that is.
He was the guy that was great to do Nightwing that just got canceled.
Yep, he was going to do a Nightwing, Tomorrow War, Lego Batman movie, and he did 3 seasons of Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, Robot Chicken with my joint.
He's got other credits too. I know that name. I just can't remember what he did.
Robot Chicken on DVD.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully this gives he's replacing the Hamada,
Good.
The current regime.
right? So hopefully
And he is salty about this, apparently, which is a good thing. Because
I ain't mad. I don't care.
I don't wish anybody to lose jobs in life, but that man has gotten away with a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Some people gotta lose a job.
DC also signed Matt Reeves to a multi-year deal with writing, directing, and producing. Is that a negative side I just heard? What was that? But I'm not mad at it. They want him to be one of the main directors leading this effort. Like, let's say a Russo brothers, or what's the guy's name who did the first Avengers?
James Gunn. Oh, Whedon.
Whedon, did for Marvel. I can see a similar way playing out for DC. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it in any period because, I mean, if you really look at it, I mean, Matt Reeves is a hell of a director. I mean, this man made.
I like him.
I mean, he didn't do the first Planet of the Apes, but he did the last 2.
Yeah.
He had you investing some time and some chimps. So
Yeah,
see
that
the
third
last
one, man.
I didn't see that last one. I still need to watch it.
Yeah, that third one.
I mean,
I like the fact that it's showing that they're actually trying to do something.
They're putting it
So,
together. This was been a matter of weeks.
This is
Yeah.
what
I just want you to realize, like, they
This
got
is what
their
we've
ass
been
kicked
arguing about,
at
like,
Comic Con, but in a matter of weeks, they the Lakers, they Lakered it.
I mean, seriously. I mean, this is something that everybody has been complaining online, saying that they need to get like their shit together and get a structure going on. Now they're doing it, and people getting pissed off with that now. Me included, with some of the changes that they did.
Some
do.
of the choices,
Young Justice
you
thing
would
still
hope
got
they-
me pissed off.
Yeah.
But I like what they're doing. I mean, it's showing that they're actually engaged and they're passionate about their project.
Right.
And this guy, that David Zaslav, is basically saying he wants DC to be the top tier. He said, we got some heavy hitters here.
Yeah.
Stop BSing around with it. Stop throwing shit on the wall. This is something that they needed, really. Somebody to get in there and say enough.
I'm glad. And hopefully this brings something to the table where Marvel has to respond with even better stuff. Because
Ain't
Marvel
word.
been coasting. I don't want to say at least
Ain't word.
this little intermission period that we've been getting between Endgame and whatever the
Where
next
we are
phase is.
now, yeah.
I feel like it's been coasting, honestly.
I'm in the mindset where I want both of them to succeed, really. Because
Yeah, and-
if you get one studio
But you
that's
succeed
failing,
by having good competition.
yeah, that's why that's where
Well,
I'm
their
great.
the real competition, the only competition really is the consumer.
Yeah.
Is whether or not people want to spend their money.
Yes.
And
But
the less people they see spend money, that's when they're going to step their game up. They ain't worried about what
could
what
have
they
Doctor
doing.
Strange been better?
Absolutely, 100% better.
Without Doctor Strange did numbers, but it could have been better.
It could have
And
been a
did numbers.
$1 billion movie. It didn't live up to the hype. It didn't live up to the hype.
Could Thor have been better?
I still haven't seen Thor.
Oh my god!
A million
I would
times.
wait. I
better.
would wait for it to come out on Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
September or next month or next week. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't worth it, man.
It was a waste of Christian Bale.
And that was another one
It
where the
was.
trailer misled us because he was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to fight anymore. So I'm thinking, okay, he gonna be chilling, and they gonna come get him because Gore doing all these bad things. But it was straight up a comedy.
In light of all the stuff DC has been doing in a couple past weeks, they also delayed
Shazam.
Aquaman and Shazam 2 due to not having the funding to release 4 major movies in 1 year. The other 2 being Black Adam
That's crazy.
and the Florence Pugh movie. Don't worry, darling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I might go see. I keep watching the trailer, and then I'm like,
I want to see it, but it's a lot of drama going on.
I'm going strictly behind the drama.
I didn't know my boy was on
Shia
LaBeouf.
I'm a humongous
Did you see
Shia LaBeouf fan.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf talking to John Bernthal? John Bernthal has a podcast.
Yeah.
And Shia LaBeouf was the latest.
He opened up a lot on there.
He exposed a lot, and you can see he's trying to change as a person. And he was like detailing some of the stuff he had to go through, and you know what led him to this change. But he was saying some stuff that I'll tell you off air. But he was saying some things like I don't want to say R. Kelly-ish, but not in the sense of little girl, but sense of slinging raw D leads to other issues. And he's saying that he might have Charlie Sheen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he opened up a lot. I watched it, man.
Wrap it up, bro.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Yeah,
but
it's a real good. It's a real good interview.
But he opened up, and I'm hoping for the best for him. But he does seem like a different person now.
Yeah,
he see the bullshit. Like
he's one that I really want a redemption story for.
I would like him to. I would like him and Brendan Fraser. And Brendan Fraser don't deserve to be neglected in Hollywood.
Well, you know what happened
everything
to him,
that he did.
Because reason why he is who he is, because he got assaulted on the set when he was a young boy, I believe. Yeah, he was somebody molested him.
Who, Brendan Fraser?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think so.
Encino Man.
Yeah,
but I know he had
had
something that led to him gaining weight.
Yeah,
but I think he should have. If anybody deserves a good comeback in Hollywood and just get casted for stuff, I think he should be the one.
Then he went through a real nasty divorce.
Man,
Yeah.
I know what messed me up with Brandon Fraser when you talk about him is they had a video. It probably still is on YouTube. It was like a fan meet and greet, and the fan came up to him, was like telling him how they helped change their life, and because of him being an actor, how it inspired him and all that stuff. And he just he's listening to him at first, and then the more and more this person is talking, he just broke down.
Yeah.
And he was trying to tell the lady, he's like, I'm sorry, I'm just having a bad time. And she was like, I understand. She was like, but you got me through mine. She said, if you need me, I'm gonna help you get you through yours. And he was like, you don't know how much that means to me right now. And he was hugging the lady. Yeah. And the security running was trying to come over. Oh, what? But he was like, no, it's okay. And they were just hugging each other. I was like, yo, that hit him.
I'm glad he's getting casted.
That'd have been smoke in the room for me.
That hit him.
But
I'm glad he's getting casted.
But I'm glad Shy is kind of open up. And this is off another thing. But y'all see that Olivia Wilde try to
slander. She was supposed to be in this movie.
She played herself,
and he obviously is not in the movie now. He was supposed to play the opposite of her.
Yeah,
Harry Styles.
The Harry Styles character.
And, and they replaced her with Harry Styles. So.
Then she ended up
dating you don't know. So then, because he said that,
and he said I didn't get fired.
Yeah, he said he kind of quit. But he said they didn't have enough rehearsal time, and then he was dealing with some other stuff,
that she didn't feel like the way he prepared was conducive or safe.
Yeah, I didn't like the way I read her when she said about it. I was like, that sounds like a lot of food salad, word salad.
I think she just heard some of the bad stuff about him with. The music artist chick he was dating, she was coming out saying, he's a
FK Twiz.
Yeah, and then she was kind of trying to cancel him. And I think she was just going on.
And then also Florence Pugh.
Yeah, that's whole the elephant in the room.
They got me looking at her crazy now
because apparently they went at it behind the scenes, and I guess they were siding. I guess she was siding with him.
Yeah, they said the video was on Twitter of her the voice message that she had sent them. Trying to apologize.
He showed text messages and voice messages saying, "I never got fired."
I think he was mad. I don't think he was mad, but he's basically he already knows some of the stuff that he did. He caused it was self-inflicted. Yeah, let's not get that.
Yeah, but he's like, yo, don't say I got fired if I didn't get fired.
I'm with him when he was like, that man kept some receipts on her.
Yeah,
I mean, he kept everything.
Never delete the text.
I think he's definitely at a point of clarity right now. He a little inspired me. I was listening to it earlier today. I'm like, if he can, because he was saying like some shit. He was out there. He's saying he cheated on every girl he was with. He was dotted on this. He was doing this, and you couldn't tell me shit because all I had to do was do another movie and I'm out of it. Yep. Like, hey, I got some drama attached to my name, I do another movie. I'm out of it. Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Judge say, all right, we got to just do a little session. I can bullshit my way out of it. He was saying like, look,
You simply being real.
And for the most part, he's been quiet. It's just that.
and he had,
And just,
he sat his ass down and reflected on his life.
And he's so talented. That's my thing with him.
Yeah.
Like
He
started as
A
really
Disney
even
kid.
Stevens, and I
He's
used
a
to love
Disney
Even
kid that's
Stevens.
got damaged, man.
I remember when he first came out, they was doing a story on him, and they were saying how he got his first job. He got booked. He auditioned, and then later on called the person he auditioned with, pretending to be one of the people doing the cast, like the company. He was like, "What about this Shia LaBeouf kid?" Da, 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 da. He was calling them, asking about himself, pretending to be.
Nice.
You gotta hire the man after that.
But yeah, he's a dynamic
your
actor.
drive kid.
I mean, all jokes aside, that boy can. If you really,
Disturbia
everybody looks
was
at
great.
his stuff. I mean, he's done some real good indie films.
I like him.
Yeah.
in Eagle Eye.
Yeah, Eagle Eye was good too. Yeah.
The
He did
one with
one
him and
tax-
He ends up
Bertho.
being- he-
Oh, the tax collector. That movie
That
wasn't
wasn't
good.
bad.
That wasn't.
It wasn't.
favorite.
It wasn't
He
great,
was in it,
but
but
he did a
he
good
was in
job.
it.
He
He
went
was-
really deep into that, trying to be
yeah,
crazy.
They say he was really getting a tattoo.
He's really getting tattoos.
Yeah,
he got
his
real
whole
tattoos.
He got his whole
Method
torso done.
acting. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh.
But
he went to the extreme.
the one with Brad Pitt, John Bertho,
Fury.
Fury.
Oh,
Yeah, that was good.
I don't think I see.
That was my joint
Oh,
when
yeah.
that came
He
out.
fought the young boy on the set.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I ain't saying he perfect. I'm just.
Yeah, he got his flaws.
Look, no, they said that he was in character, and
Oh, he
and,
was
you know,
really
some
hitting them?
things
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, they really thugged it out.
And then he's in one of my favorite, a top 5 favorite comic book movie.
Transform.
No, comic book.
Constantine.
Constantine. Yeah.
Oh,
like him
he did have a
transformed.
little-
I like
he
him
did have a small
transformed.
part.
I was messing. I'm
He was in
messing.
I like him.
iRobot too. He had a little small.
Yeah,
part
he was in
in
iRobot. He was in iRobot.
Yeah, I like him.
Shout
You
out
know
to
what I
Shia
liked him
LaBeouf,
in?
man.
I like them in holes.
What's the
Disturbia.
the one about the neighbor?
Disturbia.
Disturbia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holes was my
He
joint.
had some good
He
joints.
got a catalog.
He got me through my like early 2000s.
Yeah.
I was taking mad chicks on dates in the early.
He had
2000s.
DJ
So we gonna go see
Caruso.
this.
He had DJ Caruso getting every job after that because he was so good in that movie.
Yeah.
He's got range because he just
Yeah.
started with Even Stevens, where he's like a goof off kid,
Yep.
and then watching him do serious stuff.
But
was
like to me, he falls in that same category as all those other Disney kids.
I think he could act more than most of them.
Most of them can act, but he just falls into that same category of them Disney kids that have
Maybe
bad times
I can see
afterwards.
that. I can see that.
But we love a good redemption story.
Hey, we all do. We all
Absolutely,
do.
he deserves better. You know, he needs to be better. So
Yeah.
I think. I mean,
Let's-
if y'all hear the interview, I mean, he really opened
Yeah,
up a lot.
he did.
as long as he do that, it's all about growth.
Let's transition a little bit. Let's go to some normal TV stuff. Anybody watching Game of Thrones?
Nah,
Have y'all watched the original Game of Thrones? Any of it?
I've watched one episode my entire life.
Okay. Well,
That
I
was on
would
a plane
recommend.
going to Germany.
Huh?
I said that was on a plane ride going to Germany.
Okay. Can you pass me one of those lemonade? I want to see what they're going for.
And shout out to Devil's Backbone. If you guys ever watch this podcast or it comes across your screen, we love you guys. You got to get us through this time.
But Game of Thrones has a new series. Well, I don't want to call it Game of Thrones, but the
House of
story, the novels has a prequel series called House of Dragons out now. In the same world, obviously, a few hundred years earlier. Compared to the original series, I'm not sure yet. However, I enjoyed the first episode.
I did too.
It's only been 2, right?
Yeah.
Today is going to be the second episode.
Second one.
We'll see how it goes when I watch it a little bit later.
It's a little
But-
edgier.
The first episode wasn't terrible, and I didn't know if they were going to have enough to keep you glued in because Game of Thrones, the original Game of Thrones, part of the good thing about it is everybody has a play in something, and you watch everybody's play pan out. And it's literally like you don't know who to trust. Everybody got their own little motive.
You would.
And everybody's, I won't say a main character, but there was like a lot of serious players in the original Game of Thrones.
Yeah, some that you thought were heroes were actually the villains the whole time.
Right. And just certain things like that. certain people that you thought was going to be at the end don't really make it that long. You know?
Yeah, especially the first season, man.
Yeah, I would say at least watch the first season, and then decide if you want to continue watching.
How many seasons was it altogether?
It ran 8.
8.
Oh
And,
my
but,
God,
the,
I'm
but,
that far
the, but the but the later seasons got shorter number of episodes.
Because all those people started coming stars, man.
No, it was some bullshit. We'll go to another thing on that.
Basically,
But
make a long story short, it was
The
a writer, the
producers got greedy because they got hired to do Star Wars.
It was supposed to have been the Han Solo film.
I thought it was something else.
I think
but
it was that. Don't quote me
From what
on
I was
it.
told, they didn't even get to do what they got hired
No,
for.
they got fired right afterwards.
Yeah.
And then they pretty much was trying to come back to HBO.
And they said, no.
And they said, no, they're just going to end the whole thing. So it messed a
And
lot
part of
them.
it, it's tied to these books that the book writer, I can't remember his name.
George R.R. Martin. George R.R.
wrote.
Martin.
And so he has not completed the final book, which tells how the story ends.
Oh, that's
However,
crazier.
the series ended before the book,
that's
and they came
weird.
up with their own ending, which nobody agreed with. Nobody, he himself, don't agree with it. He said, "I was not involved
At all
with
with
the
it.
ending that they came up with, and the ending was terrible."
So now, apparently, I guess
So-
they're going to do a Jon Snow thing, and it's supposed to be like a...
I don't know where they're gonna go with it.
Supposedly, this may be like a backdoor way on
But-
how... I guess it's going to give us a finale of that.
He
It's
is
a weird thing.
he
though.
is involved with this prequel series because he already wrote the books, but he is also kind of over it, giving them
Notes.
insight.
That's weird.
No,
It
I
was
mean,
weird.
It's a
It was
weird
weird.
thing.
That's like you making the Harry Potter movies before J.K. Rowling finished. So
Right.
I
And
wasn't
don't
going to
even-
end it
and
like
don't
that.
even tell her. And just say I'm
I
gonna
heard
do
the
it like this.
idea about this.
Yeah.
And
thing.
they
Yeah.
did so many delays.
It was terrible.
It was delays because they
And
was trying to
So we're
figure
gonna
out
have-
The
that ending.
tragedy about Game of Thrones, it probably could have been the best series ever.
If they had an ending.
Ever.
If they had a good
If
ending.
that last season did not tank as hard as it did.
I checked out because of that, and I was just like, what?
But yeah, so I'm giving it a shot. It seems a little different, but the same. But they're introducing newer characters and their own new,
Storylines and arcs.
plight, and I think it could gather. Everybody was kind of done with Game of Thrones, and I think people are kind of going to be like, you know what, I'm gonna give it one last shot. And I
Right,
think it's so far not doing too.
I
too
think
bad.
the opposite's happening. I think low key a lot of people kind of miss it because I mean it was some damn good
Outside of that
television.
last season,
But this-
I'm telling y'all, try
this
it
is
out.
good. But
this
Try the
new
first
show-
season. The first season gonna get you.
Well, this new show got me. It piques my interest for one thing, is because they got one of my favorite actors that's working right now on there, Matt Smith. So that's really got me interested in.
Oh,
what
you'll
the
like
team
him in
did.
this then.
I'm a big fan of
You'll
his.
definitely
Matt-
like him in this.
He's
Matt-
good.
Matt-
He's good.
Matt
He's good in
Smith-
this.
And it's not because we share the
He's
same
good
last
in
name, but I like Matt Smith as an actor. He's a
You
good
will
actor.
definitely like him in this.
He
man.
getting in this one.
Big time.
Outside of that, Last of Us, we got a real quick sneak peek. I don't know if any of y'all played the game, but I am in love with Last of Us, the video game. I think it's one of the best story games out there.
It's-
They're making a TV series on HBO with Pedro Pascal as one of the main characters.
That's an interesting Joel.
I
don't like him.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but
You don't like
I can
him as
see-
an actor, though.
I don't like. I like him as an actor, but not as Joel.
But he's not Joel. Joel should have been.
If you watch Joel, it should have been somebody else. Not because he has like a Latino thing to him for one. And I'm not saying nothing against him. It's just Joel is a country. It should have been
He's
like
a-
a Georgia, like somebody.
like a Matt McConaughey.
he could have been like
no,
he's a
I'm
little
trying
older.
to think of somebody that's dark hair, a little older, solid frame, with a scruffy beard.
Yeah,
And it's hard for me to think about somebody off the top of my
kinda
head.
like a Keanu
But
Reeves
you
type
can see
guy.
him. You can see him, but you just can't think of an actor at the
I
moment.
wouldn't say like Keanu Reeves, but
Not even Keanu Reeves.
you know, but he got to be like in his middle age to play him though.
I can see the dude that they got from Sneaky Sackhouse. What was that show called?
True Blood.
True Blood.
The brother.
No.
Joe Magnella could have
Joe
played.
Magna.
He could have played him.
He played. What's it? Deathstroke.
werewolf.
He's supposed to be Deathstroke.
He played the werewolf on the
He
ground.
could have been him. I'd
All
have
he
been
had to
okay.
do was dye his hair and just grow
He
that
could
scruffy beard.
he could have been
just
him.
like him.
He could have been
Well,
him.
he stayed with a beard now anyway, don't he?
He always stayed with the beard.
He like
And he a little bit older
6'6",
now.
6'7".
That's probably
Big
why
dude.
he was kind of maybe too big. But think of an average size him. He could have been Joel.
Okay.
Yeah, but Last of Us is good.
It's gonna be a good series. I
It's
think.
basically like if you're playing the game. I played this heavy during the pandemic because we had nothing else to do at the time.
Maybe he auditioned and just didn't get casted.
Maybe
It's-
I think the boy got bigger name. Pedro Pascal was a bigger name. He
But-
got that Wonder Woman movie around the time he got casted, and
I'm gonna say just my only thing is I hope people don't really confuse this with The Walking Dead because
it's gonna be different. It's gonna be
some of
different.
the tone of it is like The Walking Dead,
but it's gonna be
it's not
different. And the fact that it's on HBO,
And if they go the route,
it's gonna be hard.
deep.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be hard.
I put it like this: if they go like if you think Glenn was something with The Walking Dead, if they do the second arc as The Last of Us 2, and what's going to probably allude, what's probably we know, I guess me and you know what's going to happen with a certain character in it. That's going to shock a lot of folks.
Yeah.
I don't want to really spoil it if you haven't played the game, but
See, and I knew nothing about Walking Dead, and when I started hearing about Negan, that's what got me hyped for it.
Yeah.
So it's like now I'm like, oh, now this is going to go
Speaking
down
of
on this.
Negan, that's a great segue. The actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan, just got casted in the next season of The Boys on Amazon Prime. I like him as an actor. I don't know who he's playing. I gotta read up on it. I don't think
Have they announced
they
it
said
yet?
who he's exactly playing.
Batman.
you know he was not.
He should have been in the Flash movie as
Thomas Wayne.
No,
as
y'all
Thomas
didn't
Wayne.
hear what happened with him. You know, he was originally Snyder's choice to play Batman.
Oh, okay.
They wanted a bigger name to play him. That was Snyder's choice from the get go.
He's a little too old for me to be.
But they was looking at somebody a little older in season. He was the first choice, and the studio said no to him. So
But I
that's
can
how
see,
he ended up playing Thomas Wayne, just because of the studio. He was like, "Well, this is who I guess Snyder came down with his list on Batman."
I could see if they put him in the Flash movie and the Flash altered the timeline and gave a real Flashpoint with Thomas Wayne Batman.
He was, yeah. He
And
was
if he
supposed
had
to
him and the chick Maggie, I don't know her real name, but Maggie
Lauren
from Walking
Cohen.
Dead, Lauren Cohen was the mother, and she could have been in the movie too.
So-
that would have been a good play. That would have been
what
a
they
good play.
did to
I've
make
been there for
Snyder
it.
happy, that's why he was in the beginning. That's why he played Thomas Wayne. They thought he was, because they said that Snyder had brought his name up, and the studio said he's not a big enough name. They wanted an A-lister to play him.
Right.
So the studio was in Ben Affleck business at the time.
Perfect choice.
So I'm
He
not.
was
not-
the
He was just coming off the town, and he just did art.
no, not
He did
Affleck.
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
He was.
The comedian.
Comedian,
The
yeah.
comedian.
And they
I really
was-
liked the Watchmen. After rewatching it and watching it, did you watch HBO
show?
series?
Yes.
I never watched that.
Oh, that was good.
I haven't watched the series
My
either.
God, y'all gotta watch that. For one, how hard it's a catch-22, but how hard they went for black people, and how hard they went at the comic version of it. It was great. It was great. It was great. I think everybody should watch it.
And got that one season. They said, "Yo, we walking up on top.
Regina
We walking out
Hall
on
was,
top."
Regina King was giving it
Killed
to him.
it. Killed it.
But listen, the director walked away, right? They said-
writer
I
walked-
don't know
writer
what
is
it
no
was,
good?
but they
Nah,
said we
but-
gotta leave it on this note, and I'm okay with them
He
leaving on that
walked
note.
off on it because he basically said that he kind of told his story and he didn't want to pigeonhole himself right there.
I mean, let's be real. The chances of things being ruined the longer it goes on, it exponentially goes higher. The more
Yes.
He cashed
versus
out at
just
the right
having
time.
one great season where everybody.
You know what they
raves
did
about
that
it,
also
and it's
too? The other black show, but isn't a black show because it's really a
Lovecraft
white
Country.
writer.
Yeah.
The book writer is white.
Oh,
But yeah, Lovecraft Country.
Well, it was only one book though.
Yes, but
Then-
they obviously could have wrote something more to it.
Well, they were saying there was some behind the scenes stuff going on
Yeah.
with that, with
Yeah.
some drama going
And
on.
then
with
then
that
all
shit,
those
too.
actors now, and they're so much
Well,
bigger.
yeah, my boy got
like, you
paid,
can't
so-
even.
Jonathan Majors ain't gonna be doing the Lovecraft Country no damn
But
time.
I would
I
definitely
mean, if he
recommend.
wanted to, he could.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend watching The Watchmen. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but in the comic verse of it, they did some things bigger than just the comics. But how can I explain this? They literally changed the comic book without changing the comic book. They added a new element to it
It's
that
still the
fits
same
the
character.
comic and the characters, but did something particularly for black people that
And it's with one of the main characters. I
one
don't
of the
wanna say
main
who.
characters. It was like, what the fuck?
You know what? I like the Watchmen movie, but Mr. Manhattan was taking me out of it at some points.
No, this. If
So
you
this
watch
is the comic book version. This series is not the movie version.
Okay.
The movie version changes the plot or the big climax of the comic
Yeah, 'cause
book
I know in the-
with the
in the
squids
comic-
and the whatever attacking Earth.
This one, I'll say it. Well, I mean, it's not gonna spoil it, but if you watch this, it's without the It's not the movie. It's not the Snyder movie.
Yeah.
It's
the comic book version of it. Everything's pretty much the same except for the climax of the movie where it's Dr. Manhattan in the movie. It's the squids attack Earth, but there's a reason why the squids attacked Earth, and everybody plotted behind it, and they talk about it. The same people who were behind it, Ozymandias, with
Are
Dr.
they in
Manhattan.
that? Are they in
Yeah.
that show? Matthew Good comes through.
We gotta watch it.
Yeah.
My
We
boy,
gotta watch it.
my boy.
But boy,
It's not the Snyder thing.
It's not the Snyder.
Well, yeah, I
but-
knew it was different from the
because they
movie.
actually put in the
Ooh. And
I-
if you watch it,
and I know it's around the
watch the context of how they played it.
the Tulsa.
Yes, everything played into
Don't
this,
get me started.
and how they incorporated it into the comic, and still kept the comic true to the comic, but added a new element to it that just
See, and I'm not mad at somebody
It's
stopping
perfect.
something when it's great and just being like, "Yo, that's it." I'm
The
out.
Office.
now they could have continued. They
The
could have
Office.
continued.
because the way how it ended,
Right.
it
It could have
definitely was
continued.
getting ready to. It was going to be a bigger story.
Yeah. All right, where we at? We're not too bad. Let's move on to some sports stuff. Some basketball news.
Pat
Kevin
Beverly.
Durant. No, let's start with. We can start with Pat Beverly.
Let's get to this one.
Brian was right a couple weeks ago saying Pat Beverly to the Lakers. It came true. They must have been watching this podcast. So if
I got a text.
Jeannie Buss is watching this,
Jeannie Buss
I
was
will
like,
wash
"That's a good-"
dishes, clean the laundry,
Yes.
dust, whatever you need me to do. I'll shut up when you tell me to shut up. Come in before 9. I'll do it. But outside of that, Lakers got Patrick Beverly. I think this leans into the case that Westbrook ain't gonna be there at the end of the season.
Keep his ass there.
But I would hope nobody trades for Russell Westbrook just so it could melt down.
From what I seen online, they talking about they gonna do Westbrook like how they did
Yeah.
John Wall.
He
They
gonna
tell him
stay
to
home.
stay home,
Hey,
get
No.
the money and stay home.
No, I am all against this. Keep his ass there.
I didn't see
want
memes
to
and
see-
gifs of them squaring up in the locker room. They said Lakers down by 30, and now they going in the locker room.
All
Him and Patrick
jokes
Beverly
aside.
squaring up.
All jokes aside, Patrick Beverly is not one of the best players on the planet.
No.
But he goes out there and he gives you.
He's annoying. You glad that he's on your team
He's a
and not on
pest.
the other team.
But if you want him on your team, he gonna ride with you, and
Yeah.
he's gonna be in guys' faces.
Yeah.
And that's something that the Lakers did not have.
They didn't have that defense.
No.
Now you got a guy that's gonna basically challenge Westbrook. Even though they got history, this is good for him.
They need to squash it.
They are.
They need to
They are.
close door that
Something.
thing,
They
close
are.
door that thing, and squash it.
They are. But the fact of the matter remains is
They
that
gotta
they
fuck it
have
out, they
no
gotta fuck it out.
shooters. They have
don't
no
even have a
shooters
bench.
or a bench at the moment. So I don't see what's the point of having both of them. They're either really close with somebody saying, "All right, we'll take Westbrook for something," or they gonna sit him down like John Wall did, who I think is going to do a really good season with the Clippers this year.
If you stay healthy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But-
keep them two together. We need to see this. I want to
remember-
be a fly on a damn
Do y'all
wall
remember
come practice.
when was it Dwight Howard who was fighting with Anthony Davis early on in the season?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, right? There was like pushing each other. Like
Dwight Howard was called him soft.
first game of the season, they was going at it on the bench.
Look, I want to see this train wreck because
I wanna see
Patrick
it too.
Beverly is going to get, if he's getting in other guys' faces on the opposing team. Who's imagining what he's doing with his own teammates in practice? I want to be in practice just to see him.
I don't think he's
Westbrook.
gonna ruffle too many feathers on the Lakers. He's just gonna be the nuisance to other teams,
Yeah.
particularly the
That is something that
Timberwolves.
they needed, though.
He's gonna be that to the Timberwolves and the Clippers, particularly.
I mean, if you look at him, I'm not saying like Pat Beverly ain't the best player, but he's going to bring some energy to them.
Right.
Yeah,
To a fault, I mean, he does some dumb shit. Let's not.
we'll see what they clear out their bench with, but I don't really got.
I
too
don't really
much
see the
hope in
Lakers really doing
them. I don't
anything.
got much
Me
in them
either.
either.
I just want them two to squash their beef.
Also, they have to do LeBron. They ain't doing nothing.
See, this is the '80s. You saw that scene that just happened? You ain't see it,
Oh, yeah, I missed it. I saw one moment.
but
It's a great
it's
movie.
'80s.
It's a great movie. Green screen.
Let's go to Kevin Durant. Apparently, agreeing to stay in Brooklyn.
Oh, he agreed to stay?
Oh, he ain't agreed to stay.
They said we can't trade you, and
Nah.
you got no other option. But
The
to be
owner
here,
basically
so
said your ass ain't going
we're not
nowhere.
firing. We're not firing
Nash.
Nash.
Mm.
And right now, it look like he okay to stay with Brooklyn right now.
Well, he ain't have a choice.
Gotta make it work.
Man,
He was basically he was just.
I think that's best for him, honestly.
Yeah.
he was basically the whole thing is he was in his damn feelings just because they didn't want to sign Kyrie long term. That's the whole beef with the thing. I mean, he's mad with them because the team basically looked at Kyrie Irving saying like, well, they didn't even want his ass to begin with.
Right.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, they said no Kyrie without KD.
So they basically did. I mean, if anything, they did everything for Kevin Durant. I mean, they brought in the guys that he wanted. He signed off on the coach and the GM. And then he got in his damn feelings and because of Kyrie and that whole nonsense that he calls himself. Whether anybody wants to get a shot or whatever it is, that's their own personal preference. I have no issues with that.
Now that was that was '80s.
Yeah, that was a loud shot.
Lovely.
but I mean, back to what we were saying. I have no issue with anybody getting a shot or a vaccine. That's their own mandate.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to win a championship, you got to be all in or all out. You can't be all over.
Wiggins
the
did.
Yeah.
Wiggins, yeah, I would say Wiggins.
He says he
didn't want
regrets
to-
getting it. He regrets getting it.
and he ended up getting the shot. So, are you
Yeah.
looking at it for something that you're own doing, or is it something that's going to be mandated with everybody? I mean,
I
he
get it.
clearly,
I get it.
It was just the city he played in. That
like I said, it's not.
I think
his
it's
fault.
probably a combination of factors. I think he's not LeBron. And I think he needs to have pieces in play. He's a great talent. He's a better talent than LeBron basketball wise.
Look how he's built for basketball. He is one.
He's a little too skinny.
He's small, but I mean, for a guy his size, and he can shoot.
Right. And so being as gifted as he is, it lends to him being great where LeBron makes other people better as well. And so he's a great weapon where LeBron is a great
Had Kevin Durant not been hurt all these
Herald.
couple years, I think he would shatter that scoring record.
Yeah,
That's
he's a
how
great
talented
scorer.
of a
but
shooter he is.
I think him being as great as he is makes him think he's bigger than the team. And I think him in particular, and Kyrie to an extent, needs a system in place for them to not only shine, but to win as well.
And they also need a coach that they'll listen
I thought
to.
we were still talking about.
Who?
I didn't realize you switched back to KD. I thought we were still talking about Kyrie. Okay, I get it now. Now what you're saying is making sense.
I think they both need a structure in place, and that's why Kyrie won with LeBron, and KD won with the Warriors.
But
But when they're on their own, they're just great pieces. They're great pieces.
they're in
They're
the
always going to
headlights.
shine, but the rest of the team suffers because they're great.
That makes sense.
with
And
LeBron,
this is where let me finish.
Oh,
this
go
one.
ahead, go ahead.
This is where I think why I would have Steph Curry ranked high right now because of how he plays it never took away from him or from his teammates. It always allowed his teammates to shine and him to shine.
Well, he's unselfish.
Because you got to look.
But his style of play allows him to
Because
do
when
that.
KD was there, them guys gave up a lot of shots just to get
But
him
Steph
going.
Curry was still
The
getting
man.
his points.
But you know who did it before him? D Wade. D Wade got out of LeBron's way.
Yes,
And assisted where he could.
but I think D Wade is a little different. D Wade was aging, and LeBron is at his best as the ball handler.
And also, Wade had already won a championship.
Steph Curry can be the ball handler and off the ball.
Yeah.
And that facet of his game, I think, is so underrated.
He's more lethal when he doesn't have to have the ball. Because when Jordan Poole was bringing the ball up, he was torching Boston.
But they got Draymond Green bringing the ball up. And that's where it's like, damn,
It get weird.
you could
But he does.
you could get Ben Simmons.
Ooh,
And then they
that-
would be really dangerous.
Oh, my God. That would be
You'd be like,
unfair.
what? Ben Simmons can't shoot. It don't matter because they got Ben Simmons. They
Well,
got,
you know what? This is where it's going to get interesting with Ben.
if you did Ben Simmons with LeBron, you'd be like, ugh.
Nah, it won't
ugh.
work.
'Cause
Steph
then-
Curry is unique. And I would say to a extent Klay Thompson, but Klay Thompson doesn't have the ball handling.
He's a better shooter than Steph.
Ben may have better.
Klay
success
Thompson got
over
the
there,
form. Klay Thompson's form before injury was perfect.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson's shot, setup, everything, shoulder tucked
He's a
in.
good setup shooter.
Whoo.
He's better. He's the
I would
man.
say I would take his shot before Ray Allen's. Steph Curry's shot is
I'm taking,
you don't know where the fuck he
I'm
gonna shoot
taking,
it from.
I'm taking Steph's.
You don't know
over
where he gonna
Klay
take
for a
it,
shot,
and that's what
though.
makes him dangerous. He might take it 5 feet behind the 3-point line. He may take it right at the 3-point. He might do a step
Man
back. He
shooting
might
from
do.
the NBA logo.
You don't know.
He might take it from half
Half
court.
logo, yeah, he might go for the logo.
You're guarding him with eyes on him because you don't know what he about to do. But he can dribble, he can pass, he can lay up, he got the floater. God damn.
And his release is weird because you can't
Time it right.
time it because
Right.
he's
It's quick.
by the time
It's
he's
quick.
putting up he's already released it. Versus
You know with Clay, he ain't gonna be doing all this. He gonna try to either get to the rim.
She gonna come
shoot.
off
Clay,
that pick.
Clay's a good defender. If
Clay is a
really
great
he is.
defender.
He-
He
all-
was
all
a great
time.
defender, and hopefully he gets back to
I mean,
100%.
his defense is slept on though.
Yeah,
'cause
no,
he's-
no, no. Before the injury, Clay was top
was-
he
3
was taking
defenders
on-
all the time.
He was hanging
Yeah.
in there with some of them guys.
He had- he had
He
the
was
best player
guarding.
every night.
He guarded the best player every night.
Yeah.
And I'll give him that because he kind of grew into that position.
Yeah,
He
but
saw
I think
Iguodala and was like, yo, I need to start mirroring this cat.
I hope when all said and done, people put that in consideration about how they rank Steph Curry. If he wins another ring, I'm really gonna have him higher than certain people. I didn't think I was gonna have him
You
higher.
know what it
than-
is with him? I think Steph is in that Tim Duncan like conversation where he's dominated, but everybody's putting
Overshadowed him.
Yeah, but
He don't have the personality.
See, but I don't think anybody
I think he did.
overshadows.
I think he does have the person. I think for a brief period, Steph Curry was the NBA.
Oh no, Steph Curry is definitely got the
Maybe the
personality.
NBA right now again, but for that year, for those few years, and when Katie got there, Steph Curry was the face of the NBA.
Yeah.
That 15 season, that 16 season, he was the face of the
they
NBA
were
for
trying
sure.
to basically build LeBron as the face, but
Nah, Steph Curry took it over after that Madison Square Garden game where he dropped like 50 on Knicks. He became the face of the NBA.
and he is. I mean, but off subject. How do y'all think Ben? I mean, I know we got Ben jokes and everything, but I think going to Brooklyn is probably the best thing for him. Now he don't have to play all on the ball.
He can be
I think it's
there.
going to
He
work.
can just facilitate.
It's going to work.
If
You
they
know what
get
it
it
all
together.
depends on for me? The coach. If
Getting it out of
Steve
them.
Nash comes back again and to say, "All right, y'all do what y'all want to do," it's not going to work.
They're
No matter
talking
who they
about-
get, no matter who they get, this one-on-one basketball, y'all not going to beat Boston, Philly, Milwaukee. Y'all not going to beat them. Y'all not going to beat them.
But-
and it's going to get you enough to beat Atlanta,
Chicago.
all of them. It's going to get you
Toronto.
enough to beat them. But when it comes down to that second and third round, you're not going to beat the teams that got good team basketball, where they're going to double the people that can score and you know let the Ben Simmons slack off. We'll let Ben Simmons get the ball in his clock, but we get the ball with 5 seconds left.
But you know what else is crazy? They're talking about they're going to have Ben Simmons play center, which
I don't
he's
know what they're going to do.
6'11".
I don't know what they're going to do, but hopefully Steve Nash comes back and says this is how we have to play our team basketball. We got 2 great offensive weapons. We have a great facilitator who's larger than most, and we can figure something out. I don't know what their bench is going to look like, but
one of them guys is coming back, ain't they?
They have potential.
Yeah, who's coming back from injury?
The white boy.
Like you said, though, they put Ben Simmons on the Warriors. Would have been.
What's the boy name?
Tobias Harris on the Warriors.
I forgot who.
He was in the 3-point contest, but he injured his knee. Maybe.
Who we talking?
The white dude on
from Utah?
No.
From
Brooklyn.
Was it Spencer? No. That's not him. Oh, Jesus.
Joe. Is it Joe?
Oh, he got traded.
No. He's still in there. He was injured.
You talking about the one fractured his ankle or something?
Hold on. Nets roster. Let me look up the Nets roster real quick. And I tell you,
cannot remember
Joe
his name.
something. I feel like his name is.
Shit, the league ready to start, what, 2 months?
Yeah, it's about Joe Harris.
Joe Harris.
Yeah. They still got Patty Mills. They still got Seth Curry. T.J. Warren signed with them.
That's
Andre Drummond left, right? Where'd he go?
Yeah, I don't know if he signed yet. They got Nick Claxton back. Royce O'Neal signed with them. So we'll see. They got enough to make a run.
I
but
mean,
we'll
keeping
see.
Steph was a good look for them, though.
Yeah,
that's a real good look.
He's a great playoff player.
You
don't need him to be.
I still
great
don't trust
Kyrie
this season, though.
I don't think
I
don't think anybody does. I think
that's the sad thing in all this.
Depending on their record, we may see a Kyrie Westbrook trade. I feel like
I agree. That's going to go down. That's the only way the money makes sense.
You can't trust him. His mind is all over the place.
All right, we're at 120. Let's switch up. Wrestling. Anybody watch AEW this week?
Ooh, the drama.
Did y'all see the John Moxley CM Punk fight?
Yeah.
What the hell was that BS that I witnessed on Wednesday night?
The waste of taxpayers' money.
I usually go to the gym around the time AD come on, but I made sure I stayed my black ass home so I couldn't miss this goddamn fight. And that shit was over like that.
3 minutes.
So the only thing I can think in my head is that CM Punk is injured more than they thought, and he was good enough to give them what he did and justify to the fans that Moxley is the new champion going forward. And he did what he could do without getting really injured. But other than that, I really don't know where that's going.
He got his ass kicked.
I think he's actually hurt. I think that's why they pulled it off the pay-per-view, because you can't have, if you know he's hurt and he's not going to be able to go, we're not going to be able to have that as the main event for the pay-per-view that people are paying for. I think that was the main reason and I think it was the whole thing when they had to fight. Oh, we got to move it. They can't stay away from each other. Let's just have it next. I think that's what the thing is. He's hurt. And that's another reason why it wasn't the main event of Dynamite.
It wasn't. And you know what? That we can talk about it a little bit, but that main event was fire.
Yes, it was great.
And so that's what really makes me think he's still hurt.
Yeah, it was the
he gave what he could, and then they're like, all right, we're not even going to put this as the main event because we know what the match is going to be. Right. It's going to be a squash match. He did the job, and
Me personally, I think that it ain't nothing wrong with him. I just think this is like their way of like trying to switch Punk. Like trying to get him booed and try to get him to turn heel.
I think he was injured.
I think
after that thing with MJF because and how real that felt, and then it came out that was fake.
MJF is real.
It came out that it was fake though. It did. They already brought it up.
Then why he out?
They said they was keeping him out because Punk got injured. Because it was supposed to have been the thing where
he was out before Punk got injured.
But CM Punk was supposed to be his heel to his face. Like
Correct.
They already brought that out.
Correct.
So that's why I don't believe that it
and
was anything wrong.
And they switched it all up after he went crazy. And then
just the fact.
No, even that was planned. It was all planned.
I don't think so.
Just the fact that everybody's talking about this.
Because they said they wanted him to get over. You know, to like he was white hot, and then him and CM Punk was going to have a fight, for the title.
But they could have done that, and the reason why they had to audible it is because CM Punk really got injured.
I don't think
when CM Punk really first got injured, they were saying he was supposed to be out for months.
Yeah, they were supposed to be out for months.
Then all of a sudden he popped up out of nowhere.
The week he came
because
back,
nobody legitimized John Moxley. John Moxley was beating these Japan wrestlers.
But think about this too. The week Punk came back prior, he was hopping around on one foot. Ain't nothing wrong with CM Punk.
CM Punk got injured.
Nah.
I think he got injured. They were saying he wasn't supposed to be back for a long time.
Watch the video. The foot he was hopping around on saying he was back is not the same foot
I think he was
injured.
good enough to perform.
Right.
However, they did not want him in a like he's saying, in a main event pay-per-view match for 30 minutes, really injured. They was risking a real injury.
Well, they did that with Kenny Omega, and they knew he was done.
But Kenny Omega took a whole year off.
Kenny Omega did a 9-minute match. His match was only 9 minutes.
All right, he been out for a year.
But before all that, his match was 9 minutes with Hangman, and people knew he was legitimately hurt.
And that's what happened. It ended up taking a whole month to come back. I mean, a whole year to come back.
I personally think he's actually hurt.
I think it's
That's
a
what
work.
I'm saying.
I think we getting work, man.
I think MJF is closer to coming back before CM Punk come back.
I don't believe.
I think MJF will fight Moxley before CM Punk come back.
I don't believe any of it.
But I think the next face we get is going to be no pun intended, is going to be a heel Punk. I mean, heel Punk.
I can see that.
Come.
I see a baby face MJF.
Yep. I just said that versus CM Punk. That's what's going to happen.
But Moxley first. They have to wait.
Okay, yeah.
CM Punk, I think is he didn't get cleared for me. I don't think he got cleared. I think he will come back as a heel, but as also as a precaution, we don't really want you re-injuring whatever happened.
This may be the best thing that's happened to them because now you got a lot of people wondering what's going to happen on this pay-per-view right now. Because the pay-per-view is what, next Sunday, right? Mm-hmm. So now I guess Wednesday you'll figure out what they're going to do with Moxley and Punk going forward. Just the fact that all this chaos is going on, besides the drama that's going on lately in that company, you got Eddie Kingston and Sammy fighting, getting into a real life fight behind
the
scenes.
fight where they had to actually have comments.
They actually had to take the match off because they thought something really real was going to happen.
Yeah, because I didn't even notice that he had been off the TV for a minute, and then somebody brought. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen
that. I believe because Eddie
what's
Kingston
name?
is a different breed, but this Punk thing,
Eddie Kingston built different.
And Sammy came out with a statement too.
I don't buy it with CM Punk. I'm sorry, the MJS promo was too good for it to come out to be fake for me to believe anything they say now.
I think it was too good to not be fake. It was real. It was real.
I think he's hurt.
Just the fact that they're blurring the lines right now.
I think it was real, and he bolstered himself up to be the top name.
Just think about it. They just said that they just had a report saying
he was supposed to show up.
Hold on, though. They just said the people in Warner Brothers was upset about the tone and language about AEW, and then 2 days later they're like, no, that's not true.
I thought that came out after he said it.
Nah. This was just like 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
When they were talking about they wanted the language toned down, and then they was like, no, that's not what they said.
Because
it's all fake to me. Like, it's all fake.
But we talking months later. He said this back in May.
They want people to watch.
He said this back in May. This is before they said anything about it. He blurred the line. The reason I'm telling you, that shit was real. I saw it in his face. When white boys get crazy, they get crazy, and you know not to be in the room the next day.
I don't believe it.
All right, that was real.
Honestly, the thing you know what made me not believe this even more is CM Punk 27-11, 6/27/11 when he did that promo on stage and he was sitting Indian style, and then he came back like a month later to still wrestle. Like I was done then. Like that ruined it all for me.
I think that MJF is real, and he doing a little time off because they said, "Yo, you shouldn't have been wilding like that on camera," and they sat his ass down.
I think
I was right about Patrick Beverly and right about this.
All right, we'll see. But you cursing on live TV on TBS, they sat his ass down. No, but he called them a effing mark. They never said the F word. They say bitch. They say all the other.
You know, Drew McIntyre just said it Friday.
What?
He said the F
shit.
word.
He did not say F.
Yeah,
he just said the F word.
You talking about Drew McIntyre?
Yeah.
Hey, but they blurred it out.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, yeah.
They blurred out.
They did not blur him out.
They didn't let the F word fly off on MJF. They blurred that out.
They cut his mic out after he did that.
Right.
Yes, they did.
I don't believe it, bro.
It was live. He said, "You fired me, you effing Mark," and then that's when the mic cut out, and then he started going like this.
On Wednesday,
no, I'm clapping at this because the fact that if AEW is doing this,
not because there goes Shaka right there.
Yes,
if AEW has did this, they got people. So I will give them that because they got people blurring the lines between reality and wrestling.
There was one little tidbit that I did notice.
We don't believe you. We need more people.
Punk had on the shirt he had on is a similar old design of a shirt that he had in WWE, the gray one with the in Punk We Trust. Mm-hmm. That was also the shirt that he had out when he turned on The Rock. I don't know if it's a connection.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a heel. You know how he is for details.
I like the fact that he does little details. I remember he hinted at, was it Bryan Danielson coming over?
Yeah.
And he wrote the initials on the shoes.
Yeah, ABD and AC for Adam Cole.
And Adam Cole came. Yeah. So I do appreciate the little details he do, but
I don't believe none of it.
He's a walking spoiler.
I'm not saying about CM Punk. I think all I'm saying is I think the MJF was real.
This man been worked into a shoot. Yeah.
It was real frustration he had.
The only thing I believe that was real was the thing with Kenny Omega. About him, when he addressed the locker room and people weren't feeling it.
Oh.
Now that I believe.
Speaking of Kenny Omega, that final fight with
But hold on. But
my boy.
Forget all
Go
that.
ahead.
That match was good. But did you see the post fight thing when Aussie Open had their after their match they had a little promo thing between Omega and him, and they had to they was coming in between them separating them.
Uh-huh.
And even they was like chill. They're like, oh, hold on. And they was like them two really don't like each other.
I heard they really don't like each other.
They tried to swing on each other.
But I think they know how to play it for TV. Even if they don't really like each other, everybody knows they really don't like each other. And I think Tony Khan is playing it. But they know not to blur the line. They said they knew
they knew it was going to be professional.
Yes, they play professional.
Well, you know damn well they can't stand each other.
However, before we get to that,
if you watch the video,
I know they really don't like each other. They be going at it on Twitter.
They go at it on Twitter. I put it in the group chat. When they were going at it, the one he was listening to him, right? And then all of a sudden, you just see Will Ospreay just get out the ring and sit on the outside of the ring, and the one dude hurried up and grabbed him, and then Matt Jackson was getting in between him. He was just he had that face I don't think we should do this.
I give him credit for just doing it. This is even crazy that they put two guys that legitimately hate each other.
Is playing into it, and it's look, as long as y'all keep it professional, let's keep it at that. Yep. Whatever y'all do on the outside is better for business, but keep it on the outside, and we're gonna play this right in the inside.
He hit him with a cease and desist
on the merchandise. Yeah.
So that basically messed up his bag right there.
Yeah, he was mad.
And then you had the guy, they facing each other. I was like,
before we get to that, I just got to give some props to that match between. I don't know what they call him. Death Triangle.
Yeah, Death Triangle.
What's the band? Is his name Evil Uno? What's his name?
You talking about?
I call him La Parka.
Yeah,
because he look like
he's like the new age La Parka.
He look like La Parka.
Evil Uno.
Evil Uno. That's my boy. I like him. You know La Parka died? I did not know that.
But not the one that we knew.
Are you sure? I thought it was the one that we knew that died. No, I heard the one we knew died, and the other one is the one that was trying to get the name, saying he was the original one.
It's two different things.
It's two La Parkas.
Well, one is owned by AAA, and they own the name. They own the name.
It was real questionable about if they owned it or not.
But the real guy, the real guy had a.
I heard the one we know from WCW died.
I think he did.
From wrestling-related injuries in 2020. He got injured late 2019, LA Park. He got injured in late 2019 and died from those injuries early 2020. And the other they had a feud where him and the other La Parka was supposed to go at it in one of the promotions about who's the real La Parka. But I think the one we know died in 2020.
I just put it in the group chat with that with Omega and Ospreay and them.
Yeah,
that thing was real.
But
I felt like that was real.
That's real. Yeah. The outside wrestling stuff is real. Yeah. I think Ospreay is like, yo, you hating on me because I'm young and I'm up and coming. I'm you a hater. And
I don't even think it's
Ospreay good for his size. He's good.
What messed me up with Ospreay is when he started talking about how he had better matches, and then when he was like, yeah, you had matches with Okada. But I have the best match with Okada that people still talk about. People don't talk about yours no more. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So I think it plays into their into the story conflict. Yeah. I think Tony Khan was like, yo, as long as y'all keep this professional, we can make money. It's like Edge and Matt Hardy. Everybody knew they had real beef.
Let's
make money. y'all keep it like it is. But the first minute y'all get out of hand, and I'm gonna have to check y'all. That's what I feel like Tony Khan said.
I think it is gonna get out of hand.
It is gonna get out of hand. I can't wait because somebody gonna hit that hard hand.
At the end of the day, they ain't gonna mess up the money.
Yeah, Matt Hardy should.
I see one of them doing it.
Took care of Edge's neck before.
Yeah, if Matt Hardy was like, okay, I'll come out here and lose to you in this little dumb fashion after you done hype my return up, people want to see me get this W, but at the end of the day, the booker said no, you're gonna lose and it's gonna be weird. Nah, I don't believe none of it.
Just for the record,
if it was New Jack, it was different too.
La Parka. The Parker that we know from WCW is actually L.A. Park.
L.A. Parker.
He's alive. The other one, he's the one that's alive. L.A. Park.
I have to see the real names. Okay, so you're saying the one we know is L.A. Park.
He's alive.
Okay.
It's the other La Parka who also looks the same.
They all got.
Because when I looked up the one that passed away, when I looked through his professional career, none of it had the WCW stuff. But when I looked up La Parka WCW, it brings up the L.A. Park, and he says best known throughout the world as La Parka. So, so our La Parka still.
Okay.
Condolences to the other La Parka.
Right. But
peace.
Evil Uno is my boy. I like him, man.
Penta. Yo,
Penta. That's his name. Penta Escura. Gosh,
I like Penta's like
Penta's
the new age
in Phoenix.
And they shitting on him. He keep losing.
No. His brothers
good.
keep getting pinned.
The boy good.
His brothers the one to be going out there showing out.
I love when he do it and puts it in their face. You be like,
I like when he takes the glove off. I like when he takes the glove off and just smacks him with it.
The reason I brought up La Parka because I saw a damn clip and La Parka and Penta look almost alike with that damn setup.
Yeah.
But there was a scene, there was a clip of La Parka hitting Goldberg with a chair. He really smacked Goldberg with this chair, boy. And he then he turned around and Goldberg speared him.
He blew his knee out.
Blew his knee out. Goldberg speared him and fucked his knee up.
It's funny. It's so funny. When he speared him, he was holding his knee.
He was trying to hold him. He was trying to hold it. Then he jackhammered him, and as he getting pinned, he like this.
I'm gonna have to watch this, man.
It was so funny because he hit him with this chair. He's like, "Oh, he didn't get affected. Let me do this." And then he turned around and gets speared, and all you see is.
I gotta watch that one. I don't remember that.
Yo, he swung that thing like
he hit him hard, boy. He hit Goldberg hard with this chair.
That was on plywood.
It was hard.
Just think about how big Goldberg was back then. That probably felt like a beast thing.
That shit felt real.
So big.
That shit felt real. But yeah, Penta scores, my boy. I'm starting to like Will Ospreay. That's a big motherfucker. But he flipping and doing all them things like they are. And
Ospreay's matches with Ricochet are top notch.
Legendary.
What's the boy that was in WWE? He got the shaved head, shaved side, but the long hair.
Oh, Pac.
Big ears. Pac.
Pac.
The bastard.
Pac. Yeah, he
on another planet, man. His matches prior to even going to WWE with Finn Balor / Prince Devitt were legendary.
Best thing he did was grow his beard and stop sleeping.
And he got a funny shaped face.
Brian, go ahead and say his nickname, Brian.
What?
Brian used to always tell me. What was Pac's nickname? Brian used to always tell me.
The Keebler Elf?
No. What I used to call him? I don't remember.
You always used to be like, they used to call him the man that gravity forgot.
Oh, yeah, the man that gravity forgot.
He be flipping. That boy be on it. That boy, they had a good ass match.
And to think WWE wanted to make him a Mighty Mouse superhero kid.
I'd love to see what happened with him now over there.
They had a good ass match, so I can't take nothing from that. The Jay Lethal match was good.
Him and Howard Wood.
Yeah,
I'm starting to like my boy.
Ricky Starks.
Yeah,
Ricky Starks.
Me too. I never fucked with Ricky Starks.
But
recently,
I love when he hits stuff. I was like,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's my boy. I'm starting to fuck with Ricky Starks.
And you know, even though he says he's 100% black. He said people think he's mixed, and
he the same black that what's that nigga name? The rapper who will be saying the N-word, but he look white.
Drake. Oh, Logic.
He the same black as Logic.
But when he started, he comes out, he said, when people ask me, yo, he black? He said, he
the same black as Logic.
Y'all like Ricky Starks to
Black
come out,
Logic.
and how music starts, he said, the revolution will not be televised.
Yeah, every start be hitting that thing because I thought it was always too flamboyant. It was a little annoying, but he
said he is a wrestling Logic. I think that's a good segue to end the show.
We had that 138.
Side note though, I'm starting to like the Gun Boys too though. The ass boys.
The Tons.
Oh yeah, they're good.
They
got personality.
Nah, my guy right now is
They got some personality.
real fast, man. I'm on Powerhouse Hobbs right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I ain't fucking with him.
I do. I
He ain't
do.
getting that
I
much
like him.
burn though.
But hopefully this gives him something.
Nah, it's just when he come out snarling, man. I'm just like I love it.
Yeah, I'm fucking with the other boy that he
Ricky
going,
Starks.
Ooh, I ain't never liked that
Me
shit. It was
neither.
look
Me
weird,
neither.
but
Yep.
yeah,
I
he's
never
still-
been mine neither. Yep.
He
I'm with
can
you on
wrestle.
that one.
He
Yeah,
can- that boy can
go.
wrestle.
He can go.
But yeah, let's wrap this up. We had an hour 38, so we had a good episode. It was a good episode. What we watched today? We didn't even get to watch it.
Blob. We
The
watched
Blob. Y'all saw the piece? Did y'all see some of it
It
at
was
least?
some graphic shit.
It was good. Did you see the little boy die yet? No, we got rolled back. That little boy died in
I love
toward the
that.
end.
He
That
got
shit
ate
was
up.
fucked up. That shit
Oh.
was so fucked up.
Oh, here's another thing. All right, y'all gonna laugh at this too, man. Anybody knows me knows that Jeff Goldblum
Fly.
in The Fly
This dude.
freaks me the hell out. That whole movie just freaks me out. I don't know why to this day. I finally had the balls to watch the thing by myself.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't fast forward it.
He's got
I haven't seen it in
eyes.
so long.
Yo,
I couldn't watch Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 by myself until I was 18.
The craziest part about Nightmare on Elm Street, I had a nightmare about Freddy Krueger before I even watched Nightmare on Elm Street. And when I found out he attacks you to your dreams, I could not watch it again after that for the longest. That shit fucked me up so bad. I don't know if it was a commercial that put it in my head or what when I was younger, but I had a nightmare about this nigga. And you know how in dreams,
He real,
when
yo.
people be chasing you and you can't run as fast, or it's always like you try to fight back, but it's like a this motherfucker was
Now-
chasing me and I'm running like this.
Okay. Now,
tell the story.
No. We had to say that for another night.
Yeah, let's save it. Let's save it.
That's a whole other thing in itself. We'll say that for the next time. But what you were talking about when you're sleeping and you swing and it's not like what it
And
is.
it's always like
They said that when you're in your dreams, when you swing like that and it don't connect the right way, that means you're under your covers. like real right. I looked this stuff up, and they was like, if you're under your covers, that's why it's like that. Because in your sleep,
because it's
you're
like something for it.
They said if you sleep on top of your covers, then you'll be better fighter in your dreams.
Yeah. I don't like that shit sometimes though. You ever be dreaming and then you wake up and you be like you flinch from something.
No, you know the ones that creep me out is when you
Falling?
You falling.
Yeah,
You trying to
you,
reach
like,
your hand.
you wake up like this. I hate that shit. Sleeping and you start jumping. Like,
Yo.
God damn it, and did it again.
Now, I had never ever experienced sleep paralysis before ever.
I never had that.
Never.
Never
But
had that. I cried if I did.
when I had COVID, now it happened to me. This is my right-handed guy. I was asleep, and about maybe 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I felt like a pressure like on my chest. I was like, what was going on? Like I was like, oh man, COVID really starting to mess with me because I had tested positive at the time. So I'm like, yo, I said, COVID really messing with me. Oh, I can't breathe. I can't get up. And then I opened up my eyes, and it was my right-handed guy. It was a figure, like standing over top of me, wearing. Now this is where it gets funny.
We're gonna save this
on.
for October for Halloween episode because I got some stories.
I
to tell
got
y'all.
stories too. Trust.
Had an Allen Iverson jersey.
Go ahead, go ahead.
No. He didn't have one of Allen Iverson jerseys. He had on my Muhammad Ali sweatshirt.
Oh, nigga.
Yo, real rap, and I can see because I got a Muhammad Ali sweatshirt that says on the back of it says you're not oh my God.
You still got that jersey?
I do.
You still got it?
I do, and it says it's something about if you're not backing it up. I can't remember the whole phrase, but I can see that clear as day. And it's a gray hoodie with black letters, and I can see that as clear as day. And this figure is like holding me down. I'm trying to get up. He's like, and it's like this, like shaking
Yeah,
his
I'd
head.
have burned that shit.
And I'm like this, like. And then after a while, I could move. And when I got up, I was just like this.
Yeah, I'd have
And
burned
that was
it.
in my sleep. Like,
Was-
did that just happen?
Where was the shirt at?
I keep it in the tub.
But where
With all
was
my
it
hoodies.
when you woke up? When you got free?
In the tub. Because it was in May. It was in May of last year, 2
So
years ago.
you didn't have hoodies
Nope,
on.
it wasn't even that time. Yeah, it was just weird. And
Yeah, I
then-
would have never wore it anyway.
and I'm gonna wear it this winter because I like it. But it was just weird. Like I had never experienced that before. I had heard about it, but never experienced it until that day. And like the thing with like the eyes, I can see white eyes. And
I
it was
don't
like shaking his head no.
personally have any stories, but I've been told some stories by other people that I'm going to share with y'all. I'm not going to give no names away, obviously, but I'm going to share some. We'll save that for a Halloween themed episode of some real bullshit.
Shout out to October, we coming, baby.
Yeah, but let's go ahead and end this.
Oh yeah, it's on now.
Let's go ahead and end this. Tri-State tip IG.
Tiger Helly 19.
Julian Smith on Facebook.
I'm Brian Smith on YouTube and the Facebook.
And in real life.
Yeah, in real life. if you look, it's got some stuff coming. You know what I mean? We do the podcast every Sunday, and this is fun. We have a good time with each other, but we got some other stuff coming. And, and it's definitely going to be more than just what you see right now. If you watching now, just continue to tune in. We're going to be reaching out to people to do some other stuff too. We got stuff coming down the pipe.
Just hang in there with us. We doing our best.
It's not pornography.
Make sure you I can't say that.
Oh God!
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
And tell a friend to tell a friend. But we'll end that with this week's episode. Until next time, peace.
Wu-Tang.
Thanks for the kids.